Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm back with you with another video. Today I'd like to do my review for the OnePlus Nord N10 5G. Now I know this phone was released last year, 2020, but either I forgot about this device or I just didn't remember it. Because if I did, I probably would have gotten it and reviewed it last year, but it kind of slipped through the cracks. All right. It is unlocked for all your GSM carriers. Current price on Amazon is 300 bucks. Brand new, $220 brand new on eBay, and $190 open box on eBay as well. So your cheapest option is definitely going to be eBay. Now, keep in mind, if you're the type of person that's not in the flagships, you're really not even in the mid-range, you're just budget and you just want the basic phone just to work and do the typical normal things like, your social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, call, make text messages, get on the internet, just your basic tasks, then this may be the phone for you. Now, OnePlus usually make great devices. This is the first time I've actually used a mid-range device from OnePlus. I normally always do the best of the best, like the Pro, the Pro models, OnePlus 8 Pro, OnePlus 7T Pro. I'm a flagship guy, but everybody don't like flagships. Everybody not into flagships. Not everybody wants to spend a ton of money on a phone. They just want a phone that that's fairly cheap, but still is fairly decent. They don't want a piece of trash. Okay, all right. So now, before we get into the actual review, let me give you quickly the specs on this device. So those of you that are watching and you're interested in picking up a mid-range to budget phone. Now this is this is kind of like a mid-ranger, honestly, because of the specs that it has. So I say budget slash mid-range, okay, because of the price is so low. All right, so you're dealing here with a 6.449-inch 1080p IPS LCD Full HD Plus display with a 90 hertz refresh rate and a pixel density of 406. You're also getting Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, but you're getting a plastic back and a plastic frame. You're getting dual SIM slots. Now you're also getting expandable storage up to 512 gigabytes. Now you know what actually bothers me about that is because you got the 8 Pro and the 9 Pro and also the 7T Pro top tier flagship devices, no expandable memory. So this just goes to show you that OnePlus can definitely put expandable memory on their phones, and they'll do it for a cheap mid-range or budget phone, but won't do it for their more expensive devices. I don't like that at all, and you as a consumer, you shouldn't like that as well. But it's nice that it's on here. You're also getting, surprise, surprise, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Also something they choose not to put on their more expensive devices. See, already you're getting more value from a budget phone than you would a premium device in this aspect as far as expandable memory and a headphone jack. And people could always use expandable memory, especially with these phones being able to shoot in 8K. And also just with 4K, you're still going to use a lot of storage. So the more storage you have, the better off you'll be if you're a person that like to shoot a lot of video. If you're going to use a phone that you can't expand the memory and you like to shoot a lot of video, then that's going to be a problem. You're going to constantly have to either download the stuff off your phone or constantly delete stuff. So it's cool that this phone does have expandable memory, and it also has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is still important to a lot of people out there. I know the new wave is everything is Bluetooth, but everybody's just not into Bluetooth. Everybody is, don't care about Bluetooth. There's some people that really like to be able to plug their headphones into their device and not worry about sometime with Bluetooth. And I know I've experienced this where you're listening to a song, then it shuts off, then it turns back on. I don't like that. With a wired connection, you never have to worry about that, and you're going to get superior sound with a wired connection. All right, you're also getting Oxygen OS 11.1. Unfortunately, you only get one major update, and that's Oxygen 11.1 and also Android 11. Now, when this phone was released last year, of course, it released with Android 10, but OnePlus only promised one major update, and it's already got it. Android 11, so you're not getting Android 12. All right. Also, they promised 2 years security updates. So this um, device is due for some more security updates on next year, and then that'll be it. You're getting the Snapdragon 690 processor, which is a mid-range processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. You're getting a rear fingerprint sensor, a face unlock. You're getting Bluetooth 5.1, NFC, a 4,300 milliamp battery, 30-watt warp fast charging, and with the cameras, you're getting a 64 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel depth sensor, and a 2 megapixel macro, and also LED flash. With the video, you can shoot at 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second, and 120 frames per second with electric image stabilization. With the selfie camera, you're getting a 16 megapixel that shoots at 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second with electronic image stabilization. Now, the things that are missing for me on this device: no always on display, no AMOLED display, no wireless charging, no 4K recording on the selfie camera, no wide-angle lens on the selfie camera, no headphones in the box, and no case in the box. Now, I know you're wondering why I have this box here, because I basically want to show you what's in there, and there's no point in doing no unboxing because there's nothing in the box. You get your typical paperwork that nobody reads, and you get, now it is good that you get a charger. You get a big giant 30-watt warp charger, and of course OnePlus charging cable, which is always wrapped really nice. That red OnePlus, I really love the way they present their phones in their box. But this is a big giant charger, and this thing charges really, really fast, and it's in the box, unlike Samsung and Apple won't even give you a charger and want to charge you over $1,000 and won't even give you a way to charge your device. It's ridiculous. All right, but I'm not going to rant about them. All right, first thing, I want to get into all the things that I do like, and then I'll get into all the things that I don't like. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I like about this device is the price. $220 brand new. Now, like I said, once again, for people out there that don't want to spend a ton of money on a device, that price is perfect. Also, $190 for an open box. That means everything, you're still getting everything that's in the box, but it's just like probably one of those devices that sat on, sat in the display case, and then, when they were done, they just put it back in the box. So that's not bad. $190, that's a good deal for for a mid-range device. So that's not bad at all. All right, next thing, let's talk about the design. Now, the design of this phone is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. You got that ice, midnight ice. It looks really good. The design of this phone is really nice. I really like it. It really looks good, honestly. Now, that is a fingerprint magnet, unfortunately, but it does have a really nice design overall. I really do like the design of this device. Next, I love the 90 hertz refresh rate. I mean, that's becoming standard a lot, mid-rangers, which is nice. It's nice to be able to, when you want to scroll and when you want to go in and out of apps, it's just really smooth. The camera really probably don't really pick this up really well, but the scrolling is really nice and it's, pretty smooth. But we're going to talk about performance and all that in a little bit. Next thing, the headphone jack is on here, so I automatically like that it has a headphone jack. And the thing about it, I like the audio sound that comes out of the headphone jack. It's pretty good. The audio quality is pretty good on this device. Not bad at all. Next thing, expandable storage. And the thing I like about the expandable storage is expandable up to 512 gigs, which is excellent. Next thing, dual stereo speakers. Now, they sound pretty good, honestly. For a mid-ranger, these sound really good. Let me give you an example of some music and then of how a movie sounds. So let me go to music first. That's not bad. Sounds pretty good. Not bad. Sounds pretty good to me. I'm impressed. All right. They sound pretty good. All right. Next thing I like is the 30-watt warp charging. You can charge this phone in just a little over an hour or just under an hour. I forget which one, but it charges really fast. You can definitely get 50% charge or over 50% charge in 30 minutes from zero to like 60%, I believe, in like, or 70% in like 30 minutes. It's fast. It's the same, basically same technologies that the 7T Pro has and the 7 Pro has, Warp 30T. So the charging is super fast, and I always love a phone that can charge really fast, especially if I forget to plug up my phone at night and I need to plug it up in the morning before I go to work and charge it. I can definitely fully charge this phone before I have to go to work if I forget to plug it up overnight. So you're definitely going to like that if you decide to pick up this device. Next thing, let's talk about the battery life. Now, the battery life is great on this device. 4,300 milliamp battery, day and a half to 2 days, depending on how you use your phone. It's subjective. That's the kind of battery life that I've gotten on this device. So the battery life on here is very, very good. Probably a lot to do with it also. There's no always-on display. There's no AMOLED display. There's no Quad HD display. So the battery is going to last. If you don't like the brightness at 100%, you could easily get 2, maybe 2.5 days of battery life, depending on how you use your phone. Now, I got it at max brightness, and I'm using the 90 hertz. So if you turn off the 90 hertz down to 60, you turn the brightness down to 50 or 60%, you can get 2 to 3 days battery life out of this device. Because one thing about OnePlus, they've always known how to optimize their software, where the battery life has always been excellent on their devices. So you'll love the battery life on this device. And the next thing is the good photo and video quality with the cameras. Now, not flagship cameras, definitely not. Mid-range cameras, but they're not that bad, honestly, really. The video is pretty stable. I thought it would be a lot more shaky, but it does have electronic image stabilization. So the video is pretty good. It's clear, sounds good, and the photos are pretty decent, honestly. So I'll let you check them out, and y'all tell me what you think about the cameras. All right, so let me tell you about all the things that I don't like. First thing, the build quality. Now, I did say earlier that I like the design of the phone, but I don't like the build quality. And the reason for it, not because it's plastic, because I've I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the dedicated Google button on the left. Forgot to mention that. All right. Or was it? No, it's no dedicated Google button. I'm sorry. I must have just activated it by accident. Sorry about that. All right. So it's plastic, but it actually feels like plastic and it feels cheap. And I'm just being honest. Now, I've heard this on other reviewers say the same thing. They didn't really like the build quality. Now I understand it looks really nice, but it really feels like plastic. Now, with the A52, that was plastic too, but it didn't feel like plastic. That felt like a really good, high quality device. It had a frosted back. Maybe if this had a frosted back, it would feel better, but it has a glossy back. And the thing about it, it's a fingerprint magnet, so I don't like that either. So the plastic build on it, I just don't care for it. Now, if you put a case on, if you're the type of person that put cases on your phone like I do, then build quality is not going to bother you. You just put a case over it, then you're not going to feel the build quality. But if you're like a person that like to use your phone without a case, you're not going to like the way it feels unless you don't care about stuff like that. If you're not a glass back type of person, then this plastic frame and this plastic back is not going to be an issue for you. It just depends on you. But I don't like the build quality. All right. And I just mentioned, also, I want to mention the next thing I don't like, the phone is very, very slippery. Very, very slippery. So I know if I would use this without a case, I would end up dropping this device, no doubt about it. And, you can't put it on its face without it sliding off a table. Very, very, very slippery. So I don't like the fact that it's slippery. And I mentioned earlier, it's definitely a fingerprint magnet because of the glossy finish on it. All right, next. I don't like IPS LCD display. I don't like them. I just don't. You need to put an AMOLED display on here, even if you need to charge a little bit more. They just look better. IPS LCD displays just ain't cutting it for me. I mean that's just me because I'm a AMOLED or POLED display type of person. So I couldn't deal with this display. It's too dull. It doesn't get bright enough. The colors don't really pop enough. They're not, you don't have that sharpness that you get with an AMOLED display. Let me give you an example. Here's the here's the Pro. See I wonder if you can see the difference in how it looks overall. This is the LCD. This is the Quad HD. The Quad HD is much brighter and it just looks so much better. In my opinion, it just does. It's a higher quality display. So I'm just not a big fan of IPS LCD displays. But if you're the type of person that don't care about that, you just want a phone that got a decent display and you're not in the Quad HD, you're not in the, whether it's AMOLED or POLED, you don't care, then this is fine. This is not a bad display, but it's just not a display I care for. Next, the display doesn't get bright enough. Now, I got it at max brightness, as you can see right there, and it's still barely bright. Like, I know everybody don't care about having a phone. Like, most people probably don't even use their phone at max brightness, but I do because I guess I'm becoming a blind bat in my older age. But it's just, if you're going to be trying to look at this phone outside in sunlight, you're not going to be able to see this. I'm just being honest. So it really doesn't get bright enough. So you may not like that, all right? Now, for me, I don't like it. It just don't get bright enough for me. Next, there's no always-on display. Now, I know a budget phone and, mid-ranges, some of them don't, but the A52 does have an always-on display, so they can definitely do it. And I'm just used to always-on display, so that's something I would prefer on a device, even if it's a mid-ranger. Next, no wireless charging. Now, I know that's not a big deal for everybody. Some people out there just don't care about wireless charging. Some people feel like it's a gimmick. Now, in my opinion, wireless charging is definitely not a gimmick. I use it all the time. I use it every single day. Just put it on a charging stand. Don't worry about it. Go to sleep, wake up fully charged. All right. So that's something that I've seen. There's the Blue G91 Pro has wireless charging. So if a budget phone, which is a $200 phone, can have wireless charging, this mid-ranger should have had wireless charging, in my opinion. All right, next thing, no headphones in the box. I don't like that. My Blue G91 Pro, headphones in the box. It's a cheaper device than this, and it has headphones in the box. All right, I don't like that. OnePlus is being cheap. Even if you make the customer pay for them, they should be in the box. Next thing, no case in the box. Now, I'm surprised. OnePlus usually gives you at least a clear gel case in the box. But for this one, no case in the box. And I also noticed with the OnePlus 9 Pro, they took the case out of the box. Like, you it's bad enough you don't get no expandable memory, no headphone jack, okay? No headphones. You don't give none of that. And I just don't get it. I just don't get that. Now, no case in the box. With the 8 Pro, the 8 Pro came with a case in the box. The 9 Pro, more money, no, not even a case, no headphones in the box, no headphone jack, and no expandable memory. $1,100. I don't think so. All right. And the next thing, and the last thing, the performance. Now, I'm sorry, but the performance on this phone, for me, it's been okay. I've found, I've experienced a lot of stutter. Sometimes it works really fast, really, smooth and fluent, and then sometimes it seems like it stutters. I just don't like that. I really don't like that. Now, overall, it's pretty good, but I don't like that stuttering. When I'm scrolling, I don't want my phone to be stuttering. So the performance is just okay for me. Just okay. Maybe if you have this device, maybe the performance is great for you. But for me, it's just okay. Not horrible, not terrible, but with the stutter sometime when I'm scrolling and doing certain things and it's stuttering, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to call it lag, but I don't like that stuttering. So those are all the things that I don't like. When it comes to the settings, pretty much it's all familiar territory. It is customizable. Same thing you could do with your typical OnePlus device. So I'm not going to go over all the settings and all that. No big deal. With the cameras, let me go over the cameras real quick. Here you got time lapse, panorama, slow motion. You got portrait mode, nightscape, and they actually give you pro mode. So you do have some nice options when it comes to the camera. And the cameras on here are not bad, honestly. They're pretty decent. And like I said, my favorite things on this device, honestly, is the headphone jack, the dual stereo speakers, which sound good, the expandable memory, and the warp charging. Those are like my favorite things when it comes to this device. And the battery life. Now, like I said, the cameras are not bad at all. The design is good and the price is good. So if you're the type of person out there looking for a mid-range phone and you're not looking to pay a lot of money, you're looking for, something dirt cheap but performs well enough to do your regular daily tasks and activities, then you might want to consider this. But keep in mind, Android 11, it won't get Android 12. And after next year, no more security updates. I don't know why OnePlus only supported this phone for 1 year. It doesn't make any sense. They basically killed this phone before it even got a chance to do anything. Like, I don't understand why you would do that. But it is what it is. Android 11, that's all you're getting. You're getting 1 more year of security updates, and that's it. So, can I say get this device? I don't know. It really depends on you. Now, would I get it with the one major update? No, I wouldn't. But everybody don't care about software updates. They just don't. They just want a phone that works, that does the regular daily activities, and they're good with that. They're not into it needs 3 years of software updates, 4 years of security updates. They don't care about that. So everybody has different needs when it comes to smartphones. So that's the best way I could say it. But can I recommend it? I would say no for me. But there's those out there that if you don't care about all that stuff, I definitely will recommend it, especially due to that price. And you are getting expandable memory. You're getting dual stereo speakers. You're getting decent cameras. You're getting a headphone jack. You're getting great battery life and great charging speeds on the battery. So it's not a bad package at all. It's just not. So, and it's you know, it's not really big and wide. It's, you know, one hander friendly. So you're a person that really don't like big giant wide phones, this might be perfect for you, because everybody don't like giant big phones. This phone is a little tall, but it's definitely not big and wide, definitely not. So the OnePlus Nord N10 is something you may want to check out. All right, so thank you very much for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this when I upload it. Thanks again. Hope everybody out there staying safe, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.